Good morning. Welcome to North Georgia Now. Today, if you're watching us in the afternoon, no, you're not crazy. I should say good day, because that kind of pertains to, does that all day long, pretty much?
Yeah, it covers it all.
Today is a beautiful day. The rain, did you have storms at your house last night?
We did, yes
we did too. Big ones, big ones.
I'm glad.
I haven't heard of any damage, have you?
Yeah, I haven't heard of any.
No. The damage control had to be done Saturday night. The place was packed.
Yeah,
it
I'm
was
glad.
awesome. People were sitting in the aisles. They were sitting over against the wall. It was broadcast live on ETC. A lot of positive comments. That is something we didn't advertise because we didn't want people to think that they could sit at home and watch it. We wanted them to come and fill up the place. Well, once y'all filled up the place, we decided go live with this bad boy because it was amazing.
Of course, the Baptist showed up late.
The Baptist showed up late, and asked me how many songs I got to hear Saturday night. Zero.
How many songs did you get to hear?
Zero.
You missed the best one of all.
That's what everybody told me.
Did.
They came out and said tonight was the best one. Back to Bethany was on top of their game. The Kaylors were awesome. Everybody was good. The Gentrys were great. First Mountain City was great. I was out in the lobby on the phone 97% of the trucking, talking to my drivers, dispatching, getting fuel money, da-da-da-da-da. It was a wild and crazy weekend, but I'm so thankful for the business, I don't care, because ETC is going to rebroadcast that thing. I can watch it this time, because I can sit at home in the recliner and I can watch it. Everybody said the best one yet.
Well, I've only been to 3. I thought it was the best one.
I think this was number 8. Is that right?
8 or 9, yeah.
Yeah. This started as a little nothing in somebody's garage, and I believe they said there were 1,200 people in that building Saturday night. Now, that says a lot. What's it like for you to step on stage to that many people?
Well, it's, I mean, I like singing in front of a crowd that bigger than I had singing in front of one because you don't have to focus on just the one. Yeah, the crowd, they seemed to feed on it, and it
was
makes
awesome.
makes you want to sing better. You know?
It was awesome. Now, did you do anything new, or was it the same old, same old?
We did one of your favorites, and you missed it. He is mine, I am his, and you missed it.
Yes, and I love that. The first time I heard you sing that, that is a great song. Now, have you got anything new coming out?
Not right now, no. We're still trying to raise money from CD sales to do another one. That's how we do ours.
Y'all, that's what we're telling you. You need to, when you go to, and I'm going to say this, when you go to a gospel singing like Saturday night, not one single group was paid 1 red cent. You need to buy their CDs because their CD sales promote their next CD. And let me tell you about this. Every one of those guys had to get there in something. They have to have a little fuel money. So if if you go to these events, help out all you can because the event can't happen again. I know what they took in Saturday night. I don't know how they will do the next one. I know the cost of doing this. And you saw, you saw us have to stop doing it because we were losing money on every single singing. Well, when I made a lot of money in real estate, it was a tax write-off. And I was happy to bring all the music to town. Yeah. And then once the real estate died, I didn't need a tax write-off. So that was kind of the end of the story. And I hated that. I hated that had to happen.
I am so glad to see the people come out, but I think a lot of people do assume that all that stuff just happens.
Well, it doesn't just happen. It doesn't just happen. No. And I'll tell y'all, we love the Booth Brothers, and I would love to bring them back to town. But when you lose anywhere from 1,900 to, there's the singing Saturday night, when you promote these things and you lose money, then eventually the singing doesn't happen. So we don't want to ever lose money on Singing in the Mountains. We'd like to see it continue forever. And in order to do that, who is that group right there? Let's see. That might be First Mountain City, yeah. But when you come to these events, if you can afford to put in a little extra due, and if you can't, then we don't care. We're proud you're there. But it's just tough to put them on when the money doesn't come in.
Yeah, but the singing is still fun to do, and it's
was.
a blessing. Oh, there's the ETC crowd right there.
Yeah, there's that OETC crowd. There's me and Rich Scott and Bill Siniard, and who's that other fella right there? That's Freddie Brackett, who has now logged up about 22,000 miles. And we are going to travel again this week. We traveled, and I got to tell y'all this. We're going to use it for trivia. And I will tell you, you folks up in Turtletown will have an edge on this one. If I got on Kimsey Mountain Road, what would I be doing and where would I end up? Because if you have not taken this journey, it is a 23-mile dirt, gravel / narrow road that, no, the motorhome didn't go because the motorhome couldn't go. But during the time that something happened last year up in that area, this road was traveled by UPS and FedEx. Well, it wasn't supposed to be, so they stopped that. I don't see how they did it because there were trees hanging over it. There were trees across it in certain places. But I want you to call me at 866-939-2329. This gives our North Market a little edge, and you're going to win First Mountain City Quartet by Bill Siniard and Terry Moss, Randy Johnson, and John Gable. There you go. If you could tell me, when we got on Kimsey Road, where did we end up when we came out the other side? And I'll tell you about coming out the other side. By the time you do 23 miles on a dirt road, you might need a pit stop. And when you get to the other side, there wasn't a pit. There wasn't a pit. So it was, yep, that's right. And y'all, you'll love this. Freddie Brackett has a roll of this in the car, and he said, and I said, So I suffered through Kimsey Road and then some. And then it was about 7 miles, I think, before we did find a pit stop. But if you can tell me, where does Kimsey Road end up? It is a beautiful trip.
Kimsey's Woods.
Yeah, no.
Kimsey's Ocean.
No. Where's it end up? Where?
Reliance.
That's about where it ends up. It certainly is. And it was a beautiful, beautiful drive. I think in the fall or winter, it will be incredible. It will also be a little scarier because you will not only look down the bluff and see the mountains in the background, there'll be no trees, so you will realize that you are way up high. I don't know what the elevation is there, but it is a beautiful drive. So for you hikers and you outdoorsmen, if you want to just go out, it's part of the National Forest. And it's just past Nick's Service Center and Vic's. It's Vic's Service Center. Right there in Turtletown, hang your left, and you'll think, where am I going? Well, let me tell you where you're going. You're going on a beautiful, beautiful drive, but do the pit stop before you do the drive, because I can tell you, if you stop and get you one of them dollar deals, the McDonald's tea, you're in trouble. You're in trouble. I was in trouble. For about 7 miles, I was going, how much further is it? How much further? Diane Morgan knew that. How much further is it? How much further is it? It was a long way, but it was a beautiful, beautiful drive. And Bob and Evelyn Blackstone told us that they did that route when a chicken truck had wrecked on the River Road. And you know, a lot of people did that route. UPS and FedEx actually did that route when the rock slide happened.
So does the little lady in the box tell you about that little road?
The little lady in the box picked us up about a third of the way up the mountain. But I got to tell you this is funny. We were in the middle of nowhere in Turtletown, Tennessee, and my son's reception on the phone was clearer than it is if we're sitting next to a cell tower in Jasperse. So I don't know why.
Sounds like a place just outside of Mayberry.
Yeah, it was so beautiful. And it comes out when you do your little trip, and you end up on the River Road. And that's why people used this road during the rock slide. It was, it's a long 23 miles. I think it took us 55 minutes to do 23 miles.
So it's not a shortcut, it's a long way around.
It's a long cut, yeah, but it was the only cut during the rock slide, so yeah.
Oh, I picked some great blackberries this weekend.
And what'd you do with them?
I ate half of them.
Oh,
really
well, you're
did.
supposed to make cobbler.
Well,
you're on that diet
my
thing,
mom and
though,
dad,
never mind.
Well, I still eat all the fruit I want.
Yeah, but they're not good without sugar and butter and crust.
No, I ate them just like they are. I mean, I picked them up and just ate them raw.
Oh,
Some of them fell on
gosh.
the ground and I ate them too.
I don't doubt it.
I did.
I don't doubt it. Well, we had a photo last week of two dogs eating blackberries, and in the book you're going to get to read why this dog's name is Cherie, and that's all I'm going to tell you. But it's kind of funny. She and I had something in common, so there you go. There you go.
Your dog?
Yeah, it's not my dog. It's one of our viewers' dogs,
Oh.
but they named it after me because of a event they knew happened. So
okay.
anyway, tonight is Cherie Martin Presents Backstage with Wanda Jackson, edited by Hannah Towns.
It comes on tonight on
It does,
ETC?
10:30 tonight, and this is, this is Miss Wanda Jackson, and we're going to show you a lot of photos of her with a lot of different hairdos and a lot of different music, and we're going to play some music. So if you hear some strange music you don't recognize during things we're doing today, you will know that it is Miss Wanda Jackson. Do you know, to be inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame is kind of a pretty big deal.
I'd say so, yeah.
A pretty big deal.
Especially since I don't know who she is.
You did not have a clue who she was, did you?
No, I've done my research though.
You have. Now, what have you learned about her?
Well, I've learned that her and Elvis Presley were an item.
They were.
Yes,
Now,
they
can
were.
you imagine this? Let me show you the different hairdos.
Nice
I
looking
love
woman.
this. And she was gorgeous. She was kind of that Liz Taylor look. Beautiful lady. Beautiful lady. And at 72 years old, she is still traveling. Now, here's her with her guitar, and here's her with none other than Elvis Presley. How about that? Now, how many of you women have got a picture made hugged up next to Elvis? Actually holding Elvis's hand.
Yeah.
Okay, that would be a miserable way to spend your evening, wouldn't it? Yeah, right. My Lord have mercy. Now, we're going to ask some trivia today, and we're going to give away some Mayfield coupons. I told you about that at the Singing in the Mountains. Wanda Jackson plays a guitar on stage still today at 72 years old. So there you go. And we're going to talk about her a little bit more. I'm going to ask a trivia question right now about Elvis Presley. We've been talking about beautiful women and beautiful hairdos.
He's a hound dog, you know.
He is. Who was Elvis Presley married to? His only marriage that ended in divorce, but he never stopped loving this lady. She was absolutely drop dead gorgeous. She went on to have a career in film and in television, and she starred in a wonderful program that I absolutely love.
Airplane?
So that one
Naked
is
Gun?
the movie, yes, but also a wonderful television program. And we're going to give away some Mayfield coupons today. Thank you very much to Scotty Mayfield and the folks there who gave us these coupons.
Oh, special news bulletin.
Special news bulletin, yes.
Just in special news bulletin.
That's right.
Happy birthday to Noah Gregg.
Noah Griggs.
Griggs.
Griggs. Noah Griggs.
Noah Gregg.
There you go. I think it's Griggs.
Age 14, says
Yeah.
Griggs.
Okay.
G-R-I-G-G.
Yeah, who
Grigg.
happens to have some brothers named Caleb, and who is that other brother? Let's see. What is that other brother's name? I wonder if anybody would remember his name. He played for us here on the show.
I said Greg because I got a brother named
Did
Greg,
anybody
I'm sorry.
answer the question? What was Elvis Presley's wife's name? Courtney Thompson knew, and she wins a
Priscilla
coupon for
Presley.
Priscilla Presley, gorgeous Priscilla Presley. She wins a coupon for Mayfield milk and ice cream. There you go.
She also
Now-
manages his estate too, doesn't
Yeah,
she?
she does, and she has turned it in. From when he died, it was worth barely $1 million.
No, really?
Yes,
I thought it was
absolutely.
more than that.
No,
Of course,
no.
nowadays.
When he died, he had spent way too much on way too many people. And
No.
I know that story. And well, I'm gonna write a book.
So
I'm gonna write a book.
maybe your estate will be worth more when you're dead
That's
and
right,
gone.
that's
so
right.
30 years
I
from
got
now.
to show y'all a picture. This is too funny. We were cleaning out yesterday, getting rid of, throwing away, and I found this man stopped me in the grocery store last Thursday at the Blue Star. And he just ran up and he hugged me and he hugged me. He said, Cherie, I watch you every day. Da, 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 da. And I'm thinking, who is this man? Who is this man? And he's just hugging me over the produce aisle. I'm thinking, who is this man? Then it hit me. I knew who this man was. He used to come and visit my house when he was a little boy. This is him as a little boy. And he watches the show every day. Now, this is Daniel Goss. This is so funny because when this man, he must be a construction worker now because he kept apologizing. He said, I'm so sorry, I'm so dirty, but I've been working, da 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 da. And he said, you know, I used to come to your house all the time, and this is when he was about 17. But it was so funny because he said, oh, I watch every day. And I'm thinking, oh, God, who is this man? Who is this? You know, sometimes you know a face.
Yeah, you know the face, you just don't know
and
the
you're
name.
going, oh, gosh, who is this?
You know, some guys know all the names, I just can't remember the faces.
Well, I got to show you another one, and there will be a lot of people in Gilmer County who will know this photo. This is a young man who was a guest on here
Travis
about 3 months ago. No, the little one.
Oh, the little guy.
The little one is Kyle Davis, who is a Gilmer High grad, who is going to be a teacher.
He graduated at that age?
No, now listen, he's that big old boy that was a star football player here in Gilmer County. And when I was cleaning out last night, I've known Kyle since he was a little bitty feller. And there he was as a little bitty feller at Dawn's wedding. So there you go. Is that not too cool? I love doing this. Now, I got to show y'all.
Oh, no.
Y'all know that Bill makes fun of me because I love, love, love Loretta Lynn. Now, at different times of my life,
Yeah,
depending...
y'all embarrassed me Friday on the show.
We did because we talked about Loretta.
Well, you told y'all, Angela,
Yes.
God bless her, told everybody I loved Loretta Lynn.
Yeah,
So
we
I
did.
like that.
Well, my hairdo changed according to Loretta's hairdo. And at one time, Miss Loretta did a song called Your Squaw is on the Warpath. And you will see that I had the squaw hairdo. Now, is that not disgusting? But I decided I had really, really long hair and I had a headache all the time. But I braided that long, old, stringy hair. Now, here is when Loretta went through that period that she kept her hair down. And I did too. And that is disgusting. All that hair. What is disgusting is now my hair's falling out by the handful. But it is.
Is that Buford Pusser?
Yeah, that's Buford Pusser. No. And then here is, this is when I went through the Wanda Jackson phase. Okay, thought I wanted to be Wanda Jackson. All right, there you go. This is hysterical. When you go back through my hairdos, now I've got the hairdos.
You got one today too, don't you?
Yeah, I do. Now let me show you this one. Loretta is back to this hairdo. Y'all will love this. When she sat on stage 2 weeks ago, Loretta's got the big hairdo with it all, and she said, well, they put my hair up trying to make it cooler for me today, and it's still hot. This hairdo, I had it done on Mondays and Thursdays, and I would sit there in the chair, and I would cry while they were teasing and putting my hair up. This is when they used to put it up in beehive curls. Now, is that not a hoot?
How much does it cost to get your hair done twice a week?
Well, it was $17.50 a time then, because that's a lot of work to
Lordy
put that
mercy.
much hair up. But I'd sit there and squall like a baby. It hurt. Okay, now here is, you talk about hairdos changing. The lady standing next to Kenny Rogers on the opposite side of me is the lady who has done my hair for 35 years.
Kenny's got a new hairdo today too.
Kenny does.
And
Pamela
and
Dorsey has
more.
had a episode and was out of work for medical leave for about 7 weeks. So Kim Turner started doing my hair in the same beauty shop under Pam's advice and advisement. So y'all couldn't tell a dime's worth of difference, although somebody said he could. I can't. So anyway, but Pam Dorsey, who is standing next to Kenny Rogers, has done my hair for 35 years. She's the one who cut my hair the first time.
I'm going to be following, you're following Loretta Lynn.
Yes.
I'm starting to follow Kojak.
You know, I looked at pictures of him when we first started. He had hair. Mine was white, so I can't say a word, but he had hair.
Now, Saturday night, we had a lot of folks come up to the table, and they told me that they appreciate me getting you, and they want me to continue to do
They
so.
do.
The little old ladies, they just love it.
They love it. They love it. And y'all, he is mean to me, but not really mean to me.
Pay me.
He's okay, go ahead. I'm going to pay you. Here, have a Mayfield milk coupon. But he does get me quite often, and he kind of makes me look dumb. I actually, I'll bring in a picture one day of me as a platinum blonde, and y'all will go, oh my Lord.
Who is that lady?
Because that's what I said. Well, I want to share something with folks. We've got some people in Orlando, Florida who watch us. As a matter of fact, we have quite a large audience in Orlando, Florida who watch us on streaming video. There was a place in Orlando called Ronnie's, and it was an amazing, amazing Jewish delicatessen. This is where my family ate all the time. Yeah, it should have been Ronnie the Daytona. Yeah. This place was in business for probably 50 years. When it closed and sold at auction, the shopping center, it was Colonial Plaza, closed and was destroyed. They sold everything in it. My daddy went to the auction and bought me this menu. And he bought me some of the dishes and some of the things. Well, last night, when I'm going through and cleaning out, I'm reading prices. Honey, this place has been closed for 15 years.
That's a pretty good price.
Their
pretty high,
prices
though.
were expensive.
Yeah.
So does that mean we used to be rich when we ate here?
I guess.
I started reading this menu and I thought this is a whole lot higher than prices are today.
I think so.
It is high. It is high. But now I want to ask y'all, have you ever gone into a restaurant and ordered a bowl of heavy sour cream? Excuse me, it was $1.95. Okay, a bowl of heavy sour cream. Now listen to this one. It's $1.95 by itself, a bowl of heavy sour cream. Why would you do that? And then it says you can order it with a boiled potato, or you could order it with bananas, or you could order it with diced vegetables. I don't remember that. I do remember their amazing desserts. Amazing desserts.
So
And
they're no longer in business.
They are not. After 50 years. This was family owned, wonderful, wonderful. And when you walked into the restaurant, they had a large bowl of sauerkraut, a bowl of kosher dill pickles, and a bowl of pickled beets on the table. So while you were ordering, you could enjoy these little appetizers.
Yeah.
And that was the big thing. Everybody loved it. Okay, in today's world, when they're so picky about the health stuff, oh, come on. They're so almost over the top about this. Do you think they're going to let Ronnie sit a bowl of kraut out there, a bowl of pickles, and a bowl of pickled beets? I don't think so. I don't know. I don't know if they could get by with that. But when I looked at this menu, I reckon once upon a time, we must have had some money because this is expensive.
Yeah.
Corned beef hash with an egg was $4.85. Now that's 15 years ago.
Barbecue chicken,
So
$7.55.
today, when you
rice.
walk in your local restaurants, go over and thank them because they're keeping the prices down. And this, I got to tell y'all this: if you've read my cookbook, my father's family, Jewish heritage, did chopped liver.
With chicken
Have you
fat.
ever had chopped liver?
Once.
Did you like it?
Not particularly, no.
Okay, well my family loves chopped liver, and you boil the chicken liver with some chicken fat, and then you dice up really, really fine little tiny onions, and you make a pate out of it.
Well, see, the onions kill the flavor.
And well, kind of, sort of. And then you put it on crackers, and some people actually finely chop up boiled eggs with it. So it is a Jewish delicacy, and it is very, very good if you like those two ingredients. If you don't, but people who would go to Ronnie's, you would walk by each table and you could see the family heritage because they're sitting there eating crackers and chopped liver. So it was one of those things.
I imagine it don't smell too good about an hour later either.
Did not. Do you like herring? Do you know what herring is?
It's all right,
little
yeah.
salty fish.
It's all
Okay.
right.
Are you okay with that? And smoked salmon lox with cream cheese. Now that's also a Jewish delicacy.
Right.
So you know,
Lox.
this restaurant obviously
I do like salmon.
a big part of my life as a child, and I know some of our viewers in Orlando will remember this, and it was one of those things. And the neatest thing was their bake shop. When you walked into their bake shop, and you know, they kind of entice you because you walk into the restaurant, and the bake shop obviously is up front, so you're smelling all these breads being baked and all these cakes, and so you're starving by the time you sit down at the table, so you over order every time you're there.
Sounds like a place in Marietta that we can go to.
It does.
sometimes.
I was going to
Yeah.
tell you that. It is so much like the Marietta Diner. So much like the Marietta Diner. So
Is that why
if
you like going there?
I do, because it brings back memories of my childhood.
Yeah.
Not all memories of my childhood were good, but that one was a
I
good
can't
one.
eat there right now, though. I gotta wait.
Well, yeah, you can have a salad and some of their cream and chicken soup.
Probably so, yeah.
Maybe so, maybe so. Well, we're going to play trivia with you today, and we're going to give away a few more coupons for Mayfield Milk, and then we're going to talk to you about a lot of events that happened this weekend, one of them being Singing in the Mountains. Bill's group did a great, great job. We're going to show you some footage from last year's
Now, how do you know?
2009.
You weren't in there.
No, but everybody came out and said, good job. And he looks like a different person. Everybody was amazed. You really do look very different.
Well, we warned them, and we talked about all this in February.
Yeah, and they're like,
nothing new.
wow. So, but we're going to get some footage from last year's Singing in the Mountains, and we're going to show you a little bit of that. And then we're going to tell you also, this one that was done on Saturday night will be broadcast in its entirety, and you'll get an opportunity. And then later, they will be available to sell. Every year they sell these DVDs, and if you don't have previous years, I think they still have some of those.
Yeah.
But we want to promote Singing in the Mountains. We want you to remember what it takes to put this event on.
And we're looking forward to next year already.
Next year, they've already started booking groups. Did you know that?
They booked us,
Yeah,
yes.
and I think the Bridgman's next year.
That's awesome.
So it'll be awesome. It'll be awesome. Right now, we're going to take a break. We're going to go to our sponsors, and when we come back, you're going to get to enjoy a little bit of music, and we're going to play a little more trivia, and then we have a guest coming in who happens to be our state representative. He helped me finish what Tom Graves started, and we did the dedication to David Collins. We want to talk a little bit about it and what it meant to both of us to be a part of that, so we'll be back in just a minute. Okay, more Mayfield trivia. Now, we talked about Wanda Jackson a little bit, and I'm going to show you some photos of her, and it is amazing to me the people that she has been able to entertain with. Think about, she was an opening act for Elvis Presley, and we talked about how absolutely gorgeous she was. She was absolutely drop-dead gorgeous. She is 72 years old, and tonight you will get to see her. It's an hour show, and there's probably about 30 minutes of music with her, but she was doing rock and roll. She did not get to do my favorite song, which is Right or Wrong. And today you're going to get to hear that favorite song because we're going to play it for you. I've got this 4-piece. If you want to buy your wife something, if she likes Wanda Jackson, I'm going to share this information with you. But it is a great 4-piece. Now look how gorgeous that lady was. Look how gorgeous she was. And this is Wanda Jackson as she started with her dad. Now there's a gentleman sitting beside her. His name is Red Sovine. There is another gentleman sitting on there. His name is Sonny James. You know Sonny James music, don't you?
Mm-hmm. I remember some of his music.
Mm-hmm.
But
okay, I'm going to ask a question, and you truckers will know this. You'll know the answer to this. Red Sovine is very, very popular for doing songs that drivers liked, songs that drivers would listen to late at night, and one of them is called Phantom 309. That is a song about something that happened. If you can call me at 866-939-2329 and tell me what was the song about. It was about a trucker, and it honored a truck driver. And he also did a song called Teddy Bear, and it honored somebody else. And it's one of those little tearjerker songs. So if you can call me, you will win. There'll be 2 answers. One of them is, what is the song Teddy Bear? Who is that honoring? And the song Phantom 309. Tell me a little bit about that, and you're going to win. There'll be 2 winners right there for Mayfield Milk and Ice Cream. And you know, this is like liquid gold. This is absolutely a trucker who wrecked to keep from hitting a school bus. That's exactly right. And you know what? Quite often, truck drivers do things to save other people's lives, or they stop and help and render aid when nobody else will. So salute to the truck drivers. You're going to win Mayfield coupons. There you go. And the next song, Teddy Bear, is about somebody else that's very, very special. So,
I thought that was Elvis.
No, but he did do a song about Teddy Bear, did a song. Now, is your group singing anywhere in the near future?
No, we don't have a scheduled event no time soon. So.
And the CD is waiting? No, because we lose money. We always lost money.
Gee, thanks.
I wouldn't want to do that. We always lost money. We don't want Singing in the Mountains to ever stop. And the money's got to be there, doesn't it?
Yeah,
I mean, it takes money to operate.
It takes money to rent the facility.
It does.
Advertise and all that stuff.
It does. Yeah. And people don't understand that. But Singing in the Mountains, ETC makes it available to you after the event by filming it live and then rebroadcasting it. That is honestly a public service. Well, there's no expense. You know, ETC doesn't get paid for doing that. We just do it to be nice.
We met people from the Bartow County area all the way over in Rome, and they came over, and people from North Carolina up in that area, and up into Tennessee.
It is a big to-do.
Yeah, it wasn't just around this area. There's people from everywhere came.
Well, there's another Singing in the Mountains that went on for 40-something years, and it is canceled now, and it's moved inside, which took, it changed the whole atmosphere. And my sister saw us online last night talking about how successful Singing in the Mountain was, and yada, yada, yada. And she sends me a message back, I thought there wasn't a Singing in the Mountains anymore. No, in Bryson City, North Carolina, there's not. But in Fannin County, it is alive and well. And right now, we want to share some of 2009's. Now, who was there last year? The Kaylors, First Mountain City.
Peachland Quartet.
Who else? Promise Quartet, obviously. Promise Quartet is our host group.
Yeah, and Debbie Cochran was there again, and Back to Bethany was there.
Back to Bethany, every time they perform, the Kaylor family, every time Back to Bethany performs, they get better. So this is 2009. We're going to show you some little clippets from that. I think you will enjoy it. And know that 2010 will be re-aired again here on ETC. Watch your scheduling for that. I'm not sure. It's usually 3 or 4 weeks before they get it back into the loop. But
It takes a little editing to smooth out our
surely
mess-ups.
not. Do you think? Do you think? Surely not. Well, right now we're going to go to some of Singing in the Mountains 2009.
It's good to be here. Good to see you here. I met some people out there that said they hadn't missed a singing. So that's good, and I hope you'll come back next year. Good Lord willing, we'll have another one next year. I had a little something I wanted to say, but I get a little emotional sometime, and you'll have to excuse that. But I appreciate dedicating our songs tonight to Joanne. She's always here and always singing. With the two ladies here that she sung in the trio, and she went on to be with the Lord in January. She got promoted to a different choir. Amen. Amen. That's something we all have to do one day. Nobody gets by. We all got to meet the Lord one day. So I appreciate, again, that all of you coming. And I want my pastor, the pastor of Appalachian Baptist Church, to come and say our prayer for us. I appreciate Brother Steve Harbin, pastor of the Appalachian Baptist Church. We'll invite them to come. If they don't have another church, we'll let them come hear you preach sometime.
I brought some membership cards.
Good, that's good. Brother Steve Harbin. And
Let's pray together. Father, in the name of Jesus and by the power of his shed blood, we want to thank you for a wonderful opportunity to come together and worship you. We exalt the name of Jesus above every name. He is honored in this place, and we welcome him. Holy Spirit, breathe into our lives a fresh living word from God. Touch us in a very special way that we will know that you have been the author of this and that we have truly been drawn closer to you. We exalt you, we praise you, we magnify you, we glorify you, for you alone are worthy of all of our praise. In Jesus' name, amen.
I'm going to ask a friend of mine and a Vietnam veteran, if he'll get the flag. We want to say, Harold Parker, we want to say a pledge of allegiance to our flag. And I guess Harold's back over here somewhere there.
Okay, we've got an update for you, and then we're going to go back to some music. August the 5th at 9 p.m. will be the airing of this year's
Singing in the Mountains,
There you
2010.
go. There you go.
August the 9th.
August the 5th.
August 5th at
August
9 p.m.
5th at 9 p.m. And it will be re-aired several times after that, but it'll take about that long to get it in the loop. But that is one of those things. I know you'll enjoy it. I know you will love seeing again Back to Bethany, the Kaler family, all these groups that y'all got to enjoy. And I didn't see the first singing, the first song, the first note, the first tune. How many groups?
You were there.
Everybody did 3 or 4 groups? I mean, 3 or 4 songs?
No,
Is
everybody
that
did 2
right?
songs. And
2
then,
songs.
Yeah.
Well, okay. I would have wanted Back to Bethany to do 4. I'd have wanted you to do 4.
There's just
I'd
not
have wanted
enough
Promise
time.
Quartet to do 4. I'd have wanted, could we make this? No, we can't make it 3
can't
hours
do
because
that.
people get tired of it. But remember, August the 5th here on ETC at 9 p.m. we will be re-airing this year's 2010 event. Right now, we're going to go back to 2009 to a little bit of music, and I want you to sit back and enjoy local talent who gives their time. Not 1 red cent was spent to any of the entertainment. Entertainment, is that what you call yourself?
Well, not really. We're gospel singers, but
Well, you
it
entertain.
better be entertaining, or they
Yeah,
don't
it's
like
pretty
it.
entertaining, or y'all get bored and leave. So let's go back to 2009 Singing in the
Ministers,
Mountains.
that's what we are.
Yes.
Sing tonight. Let's stand together and bring these verses to life as we lift our voices to sing that great old gospel song that's been sung by millions and loved by all. I feel like traveling on. hand clap for the Lord.
Amen. This next young man coming to sing, he's been here several times. He's no stranger to singing in the mountains. And Michael attends Appalachia Baptist Church over in Morganton. He's going to do one of my favorite songs. Please make him welcome as he sings He's Alive, Michael McBroom.
Gates and doors were barred and all the windows fastened down. Spent the night in sleeplessness and rose at every sound. Half in hopeless sorrow and half in fear the day would find the soldiers breaking through, drag us all away. Just before the sunrise, I heard something at the wall. The gates began to rattle and a voice began to call. I hurried to the window and looked down into the street, expecting swords and torches and the sound of soldiers' feet. There was no one there but Mary, and so I went down to let her in. Well, John stood there beside me as she told us where she'd been. She said they moved him in the night and none of us knows where. The stone's been rolled away and now his body isn't there. Well, we both ran for the garden, then John ran on ahead. We found the stone in the empty tomb just the way that Mary said. But the winding sheet they'd wrapped him in was just an empty shell. Hour where they'd taken him was more than I could tell. Something strange had happened there, but just what I didn't know. John believed a miracle, and I just turned to go. Circumstance and speculation couldn't lift me very high, 'cause I'd seen them crucify him, then I saw him die. Back inside the house again, the guilt and anguish came. Everything that promised him just added to my shame. When at last it came to choices, I denied I knew his name. And even if he was alive, it wouldn't be the same. But suddenly the air was filled with a strange and sweet perfume. Light that came from everywhere drove shadows from the room. Jesus stood before me with his arms held open wide, and I fell down on my knees and just clung to him and cried. He raised me to my feet, and as I looked into his eyes, love was shining out from them like sunlight from the skies. Guilt and my confusion disappeared in sweet relief. Every fear I ever had just melted into peace. Give him praise and glory because he's alive, 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 hallelujah, alive forever, amen. He's alive, 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 hallelujah. Give him glory again. He's alive, 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 hallelujah, alive, praise his holy name. He's alive, alive,
Oh, Lord have mercy, we're going from religion to politics. I don't know about this, Bill.
That kind of mix.
Did you
anyway. People say
schedule
they don't.
this? We got religion over this side. We got some great, great gospel music. Then we got some great, great political things going on, and we've got some huge election things happening. Rick Jasperse is joining us now. Rick, are people a little bit confused about what's happening? I know you took a lot of heat over in Gordon County. People thought you were trying to replace Tom Graves in Congress, where he hadn't even gotten yet, although we were working hard to get him there. And you would show up at people's doors and they'd say, oh no, I'm for Tom Graves. Then you have to go through the spiel and explain, no, I'm for Tom Graves too, but I'm running for his seat, not against him. How hard has this been?
Oh, it's been very confusing. Just like at church yesterday, someone asked me about it. You know, like, Rick, I saw you out putting up signs yesterday. What are you doing? And it is confusing for folks because of, you know, when Nathan Deal stepped down to run for the governor's office, it caused just a little flurry of activity of different people running for different jobs. You know, just like mine. You know, Tom Graves, our congressman now, wanted to step out of the 12th district seat that I have.
And 12th District, Georgia, to go to
Yes.
9th District Congress.
Right.
It confuses people.
Absolutely it does. And
Well, he is our congressman now.
absolutely.
And July the 20th, we go back to the polls to keep him our congressman.
Right.
Has nothing to do with the job you're doing. You are our House of Representatives person out of Pickens County, 12th District, Gordon, Pickens, and what else?
And a little bit of Bartow.
A little bit of Bartow.
Yes,
okay.
ma'am. And so I'm up for re-election.
In
also.
November?
Well, on
Now?
July 20th, you hopefully vote for me also
Okay.
to in the Republican primary. And I don't
Okay.
have any opposition.
It
but
is
it's-
very confusing, though. It's people are like calling me and saying, "Well, how come you like Tom Graves and Rick Jasperse?" No, they're not the same. They're not joined at the hips. They are not the same.
No.
But you jointly worked on something that meant a whole lot to me. You finalized what Tom and I finished about the David Collins Road.
Absolutely.
What was it like when I pulled up and all the flags and the sheriff's department and traffic was dead standstill on the interstate? What was that like for you?
Well,
You teared up. When you were reading the resolution, you did exactly as I did. I got about 2/3 of the way through it when I had to read it in front of the courthouse, and then I couldn't finish it. I cried.
you
and,
can't.
And I
I mean-
saw you doing that. What was that like?
oh, you know, I was there early, and, you know, we worked, you know, you and I had worked on it the week before, getting everybody, and I just want, before we talk about that, thank our community. You know, the sheriff's office, the Georgia DOT,
They did a great job.
everybody. I mean, our funeral homes bringing the tents, the sheriff's office bringing the chairs, the Patriot Guard coming in, doing
was amazing.
the escort. I mean, it's
Pat
true.
Gallagher doing tabs.
Oh, Pat
you know.
Gallagher doing tap. But that's where we live, and
That's
we
it.
have a great community that honors people and respects people. And you know, you have to do all that, and you're there in front of a family, and you're reading that resolution. It's powerful
Oh, it
because you
is.
know what
Sure.
went through their family, and
Yeah. And you look at those two children sitting on the front row. David's children were 5 feet from you.
yes, ma'am.
And to see, they were little tiny. I mean, James was like 7 months old when his dad passed away.
Yes, ma'am.
James will not remember his father. And I said that we have to keep David Collins' memory alive. So the greatest way to do it is for everybody to see that sign. Now, you won't believe this, but since they were unveiled, I had not seen them until like 3 days ago. And I said, we were going to fuel up the motorhome to go to the event Saturday. And I said, Freddie, do you mind going this way so I can see the David Collins sign? And he said, you hadn't seen it? No. No, I had not. But what a powerful statement.
They're beautiful. You know, and this intersection, if you don't know, we're talking about Philadelphia Church Road and 515. You know, just right above the new Walmart, heavily trafficked area where they grew up at.
Oh, yeah.
That was their property, and still
Yeah.
is. Some of the
Yeah.
Collins family lives right adjacent to that.
Right.
The perfect place. The signs are big and
And
dramatic.
there's 4 of them on Philadelphia
Yeah.
and on 515. Yeah.
And it's a lasting tribute. Yeah, and since I've been working on this, everywhere I go, I look at these signs now. I mean, once you do something like this, you look and you wonder what happened. Why is
Oh,
that
yeah.
person?
Yeah.
Why is that intersection named after them?
Yeah.
Right.
And it's a great tribute that we
Yes.
do in the state. To
There's
do
a
these
bridge
things.
in Fannin County in honor of Brett Dickey, who was killed in the line of duty Fannin County Deputy Sheriff, I believe. And it is in honor of him. And I said, you know, every time I cross the Mike Mundy Bridge down at Talking Rock, Mike Mundy and his wife Sue were personal friends of ours. And every time I hit that bridge, I think about Mike and I think about Sue and I think his 30-something years with the DOT. What a great way to honor him.
It is, and you know, and today in the environment we're in today, these signs don't cost. You know, if I'm as a legislator, if I want to name a road or have one named for someone, we have to go raise the money today to do that. Now, back when we did Sergeant Collins' sign, the state was funding it, but the budget cuts we're in today, this is one of the things communities have to fund, and I would think, you know, if we had to pay for those, it wouldn't have been a problem.
Right.
And all these signs are significant. They're important to do. They're not just frivolous wastes of our time in the legislature, because it just acknowledges the work people do in our state. And I think it's a good thing.
We just think 30, 40 years from now, a child will ask, who was David Collins?
Who
And
was
somebody
Sergeant
else
David
gets
Collins?
to
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. Well, there's another intersection in Pickens County named after two young women. You actually saw the
I was behind
accident
them.
where they were
Right.
killed in an automobile accident
Bishops.
at 108 and 515.
Right.
108 brought a lot of traffic to our area from Waleska, and then 515 brought traffic from Atlanta and further south. How many more people do you think, do you have a number how many people travel 515 a day?
Oh, no, but if you go there on Friday afternoon, you can sure
Would
count
you
them.
imagine, would you imagine
Well,
100,000 people?
You know, when I first moved to Jasper in '96, you could get across there pretty easily, and even downtown. But it has really changed. I guess there's, what, 3 or 4 times the amount of population than there was 15 years ago.
Is it about
It's about
30,000 in
twice.
Jasper?
It's a little bit more than twice.
But coming, like you said, on Friday afternoon or any given afternoon during
My
the week,
goodness.
it's hard to get merged in there sometime where there's not a traffic light.
And for those of us, you know, I've lived in Pickens County before the road. I mean,
Us too.
and-
We remember those discussions. The big road's coming. The big road's
changes
coming.
everything.
The big
My-
road's coming, and we're like, oh no, do we want the big road? I don't know. Well, what do you think? There was a lot of discussion about that
Yeah.
big road.
Yeah, I moved there in '82 or '83, and it was you know, they were working on it way down in Cherokee
Right.
County.
It had actually come to Nelson at that point. And then we remember it coming further and us thinking, what are they doing? You know, and then because we own 2 commercial corners over there, we're like, go girl.
Bring it on.
Let's get it done. Let's get it done.
But it's been a great road for us. You
And
know,
look at the
land, you know,
jobs.
yeah. Oh, absolutely. And our access to jobs. And,
Yeah,
and that's
yeah.
what great roads are for. Yeah, sure, it does cause traffic congestion and all, but look at the folks that drove to Lockheed every day.
Mm-hmm. Right.
You know, for 30 years on Old Highway 5.
Oh, from Copper Hill, Tennessee, they drove to Lockheed.
You know, I just had a lot of respect for the men and women
yeah.
that did that.
Yeah.
But now we've got a great road, and these roads mean jobs.
Right.
And so, yeah, I like them.
Well, also on 515, and you know this from buying as much gas as you buy, you look for the bargain price gases. And there's going to be, this weekend, there's going to be probably a gas war going on, because one certain place, which happens to be where I used to live, is going to have gas at $1.99 for 2
No.
hours. Now, I'm not going to tell you where. That's your job. Get out and do your
Oh, my.
homework. For 2 hours on Friday, one local gas station is going to have gas for $1.99. Talk about the sheriff's department, y'all better get to work, because they're going to have to be blocking off that road. It has brought, how many tax cents per gallon go to fuel taxes that go to the state of Georgia? Is it 14 cents, 18 cents, 24 cents? It's a huge amount of
I
money.
don't know that.
And when you look at how many tourists stop in Jasper proper,
Right.
just at, here I go naming names, Racetrack, Quick Trip, Chevron, BP, everything up and down the interstate. When you stop and buy fuel, those are tax dollars. You know,
Well, we get
every
the-
gallon of every gallon of gas has a lot of tax on
We
it.
get sales tax.
Absolutely,
Here off that. Now,
absolutely.
the state gets that motor fuel tax for roads, and
Right.
there's federal taxes. The significant taxes are in
Right.
gas, but
we get a lot of sales tax.
we sure do.
Now, since y'all were here earlier before the road was built, what caused them to stop at the Cherokee-Pickens line with the interstate and change it into a highway? Why didn't they just continue up with an interstate?
Congressman Phil Landrum was involved in that, and I
Right.
can't remember why.
That's part of the interstate system, which was
Right.
that's mostly federal money. up
Let's
into
ask
the
a
Pickens
question.
line.
Let's ask a question about the interstate system, because a president many, many years ago, a wonderful man, is responsible for the
Yes.
interstate as we know it today, Call us at 866-939-2329. If you know the president, he was before my time. He was an old man.
He
You will
was also a
win.
military man.
That's right, military man he was. You will win our last Mayfield coupons, ice cream and a gallon of milk from Mayfield Ice Cream and Mayfield Milk.
I'll give you a hint. He's on a silver dollar.
He is on a, yes, it is, Eisenhower. Eisenhower
White
is
D.
responsible for the interstate system in America.
Absolutely.
And when that one stopped at Nelson, you know, it's like dead standstill, it stopped.
She still calls it interstate here, though.
I do. I can't
A
get
lot of
over it.
people
I
do.
can't
Yeah.
get over it. It is a highway. He keeps telling me this.
It's a highway.
Why did they stop there? Was it funding?
Absolutely. I mean, it's, you know, and it's controlled access. If you notice the difference between right there at the Cherokee
Right.
line, we don't have the access to the road the way
Right.
they do up north on 515. All the service stations and, you know, Goss Tractor and all that.
Right.
That's not
Traffic
south.
lights,
It's a
Right.
different kind of
Right.
road. And, you know, that's why it's Zell Miller Highway.
Right.
Because, you know, Governor Miller saw the importance of that road to the development of this area.
And
Just
it
like,
goes to Hiawassee?
well, it goes
just
to
south of
Blairsville.
Hiawassee?
It goes to
Yeah,
Blairsville.
okay.
And, yeah, it doesn't go to
Turns
Hiawassee.
into like 76 or something like that as it goes on past there over to Clayton.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
But it's a wonderful road. I mean, it's a
I
helped us a
wonder if
lot.
anybody has an idea, even an inkling of an idea, how many dollars have been transferred to our northern market from that road?
Oh, I'm
Can
sure.
you even imagine?
Oh.
Can you even imagine how many dollars?
Well, just the increase in property values and access and everything
Yeah.
that it's meant to us. You know, and our 515 is great.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, there's lots of discussion in the state now about, you know, outer perimeters and access roads. And, you know, there's a big road that's going to be built from Calhoun over to I-20.
Okay, what is
Just
it
add-
going to be?
Well, it's just going to be another access road to be able to move goods and services, mostly goods, carpet, all that good stuff from
Mm-hmm. And where will that
Calhoun.
happen now?
That's going to be from Calhoun over to I-20.
Toward Villarica or something?
Yeah, over there somewhere.
Oh.
I've not seen a map of it. I've just been, you know,
Is it a definite in the works?
oh yeah, it's a definite in the works. And being the state
Because
representative,
in Ball Ground, there was a in the works that never happened.
that being the outer perimeter.
Absolutely.
Right.
Is that dead? Is
That's
that
dead.
gone?
That's
Okay.
dead right now.
Why is it dead?
Political promise by
Okay.
their current governor to kill it.
Really?
Yes, ma'am.
If we get a new governor, is there hope for that opening back up? Because have you been to downtown Ball Ground?
It's wonderful.
It is a beautiful little
Yeah.
town. Have you been in downtown Ball Ground as the tractor trailers are coming through there?
Oh yes, we played baseball in ball ground for years and
Yeah,
years.
yeah. There's no other place for the tractor trailers to go.
Right.
But the downtown area, if there were an escape route, as you know, like in Rome, there's 53 Spur,
Sure.
which takes you around the city and gets the truck traffic off of downtown areas. Is there a possibility this road will ever happen?
I don't know. You know, that's in today's
Did people
economic
want
environment.
it? Was it a good thing, bad thing?
Oh, it's a good thing, bad thing. I mean, that's one of those scales of justice. It depends on if you were going to take your land, it may be a
Right. Mm-hmm.
bad thing. Some people think that those outer perimeter roads aren't what they're supposed to be. Would they take truck traffic out of Atlanta and put
Uh-huh.
it on these controlled access roads? Would it be, how much would it help North Georgia?
Uh-huh.
Lots of questions. I mean, you know, they have widened Highway 53. If you go just from Dawsonville, just on the Gainesville side of Dawsonville, past what I call the Green Bridge, boy, is it wonderful.
It
Just
is.
widening that road.
And it took them 8 years maybe to
Oh,
finish
yeah.
that? Yeah.
And can that be done and not have a controlled access road? Maybe. I look forward to working on transportation issues because
We have some issues.
oh, we
have
do.
some issues.
And you know, especially for North Georgia, we need them. They're job roads to us. I
Mm-hmm.
mean, that's how I look at it. You know, if I'm sitting in Jasper and I need to get to Gainesville for a job, I need to get to Gainesville
Right.
in the most efficient method I
Right.
can. And also, if we need to move things, we need to consider
Right.
how we do it because they're important.
You mentioned the Green Bridge. Let me tell you, from the trucking end of the Green Bridge, years ago, I have a driver, single dad, who actually lives here in Gilmer County. He comes in with a ticket for being on the bridge, $1,500 ticket. He was empty. His truck wasn't overweight. But they had this no trucks. Okay, give me a break. Where do the trucks go? Truckers move America.
Absolutely.
You can't get my goods here without going on a road. So they have to make it easy for truckers, and they have to make it economical for truckers. The shortest route, obviously, because PC Miler is the Bible that all truckers go by, and it tells us the shortest route. Sometimes the shortest route will take you on a road. Have
Over
you
a
ever been
mountain.
on? Yeah, yeah.
It's like when 53 was closed down at the Hoover
Oh,
plant,
it was
and they
a
came over
disaster.
Burnt Mountain
Yes.
Road because it was a highway.
Truckers came
Yeah.
over Burnt Mountain. There were so many
remember that,
wrecks.
yeah.
There were so many wrecks. Truckers move America. It is important that you, when you go to the House, you do something to make transportation better for the trucking industry.
I think it's great. You know, Congressman Graves has been put on the transportation
I saw
committee.
that, yeah.
And I think all of us know us being able to move goods and services
Whether
and
it be
people,
carpet or pine straw or
poultry,
chicken litter.
or
Chicken litter, yeah.
chicken.
Yeah,
I mean, you
yeah.
know,
Ice cream.
the whole ice cream,
Yeah,
the whole
yeah,
thing,
yeah.
every bit of it.
Yeah.
We need to be able to move, and our region's going to grow. You know, and controlled growth is important, but we still got to be able to move and move people.
Right.
And that's our role to work to see if we can do that. You know, the state legislature last year passed a transportation plan that is going to help facilitate that. It's a little bit controversial. You know,
What's controversial about it?
well, we've divided up, the state's divided up into regions. And
Being South Georgia.
well, and like we're in a Dalton, Rome region. We will work together in that region to develop a transportation plan. We'll vote on it. You know, I mean, physically, you and me and all the residents in that whole geographical area will vote on a transportation plan to increase our local option tax for 10 years to fund these changes that we want to work on. Some people think
Like
that
a penny?
yeah, a penny or maybe even two to get done what we need to do. It's, what the state, I think, has done, you know, I wasn't in the legislature last year, it's just what I've read and talked to people, it's going to empower the areas to work on transportation issues. The state's going to work on
It's a big issue.
big projects, but they're going to empower us to work on our own problems. And so we'll vote on it. Some people think the big counties are going to overwhelm the small areas. Will we get what we want? This will all come to light in the next 2 years as we develop a plan. But the state has put it back in the counties and the regions ballpark.
Well, because I lived near all the little gas stations over at 515 and 53, I saw Florida tags, Iowa tags, Kansas tags, Missouri tags pulled up at the gas stations, you know, pumping gas. We're getting sales tax from that. What if we got that extra penny? Do you think people will be for it or against it? How do you think that's going to fly?
Depends on if people understand what the issue is, what the solution that this group comes up with, and if they think it's effective. I mean, that's the key thing. They've got to make sure and see it in their heart that, yeah, this is going to help me. Then they'll vote for it. But we're voting for it as a region. And, you know, we're the farthest east
Right.
county in the region.
And Rome is kind of a big industrial.
And Calhoun is, too.
Yeah, yeah.
They are
yeah.
very, very much more
We wish we were more
manufacturing.
industrial. We wish we had more manufacturing.
Oh, I know.
Let's talk about today. Do most people agree that 515 is a good thing?
I hope so.
Yeah.
But I'm sure we could find somebody who doesn't.
Yeah. Well, the one thing I had a problem with 515, and I understand this was because someone involved in DOT at the time we built this, there was a little controversy going on. We didn't get bridges because we have the access and we have red lights. We didn't. Do you remember when we didn't have red lights on 515?
Hadn't there always been one
No.
at 53?
No, there were stop signs there for a short period of time
Okay.
because I lived there. I can remember that.
Yes, ma'am.
They wouldn't fly today, boy.
No, that would not fly today. But I can remember many fatalities at intersections. Okay, interstate basically cuts out on fatalities because there are no red lights and there are no intersections for
Right.
people to cross. Worley Crossroads, there have been several fatalities. 108, there have been several fatalities.
all.
53, there have been several fatalities.
Antioch
Antioch
Church,
Church Road,
yeah.
there have been several fatalities. Okay, why did we give up the interstate system to go with the highway system, which then gives us red lights, which cause
Funding,
fatalities?
he said. Federal
It's
funding.
Okay,
Probably-
would we
I'd
look
love
at
to
it
know.
differently? Would we look at it differently today, now that probably 48 people have lost their lives at these intersections? Would we look at it today differently and say, hey, baby, bring us the interstate?
Yeah,
I think
so.
it might change. Do you think?
Oh, it would change, but it would take a ton of money because you've already got those established crossings.
Right.
You've got to build the bridge, you got to build the exits and the entrance
Right,
ramps and all
right.
that stuff. You got to take up
It would
more
have taken more
property.
property.
Right.
Yeah. So I understand
People have
it.
problems with that, but
Yeah.
and most states
I have a
development.
problem. I'd have lost my Wendy's corner and my Bojangles corner. You know what I'd have been? An exit ramp. An exit ramp. So at that time, we didn't want the bridges. But today, with 48 fatalities in this area.
My opinion on that is the federal government wants to tie interstates into from one major city or one major metropolis to another.
Nelson's not a metropolis. Nelson, good Lord, he
From
just said
Atlanta, from Atlanta, or let's just say northern perimeter, where is it going to go to? You can't go to Knoxville because you can't go over the Smoky Mountains with an interstate system.
Right, but you look at the vision of Mr. Landrum, looking at 515, going through, Cobb and Cherokee County to here. That was a great vision, and to open this area up to growth and development.
Right.
Yeah.
And some people say, well, that's a bad thing, and that's where people might be against it. Cherie is, well, they'd like it to be small, but we would still
Do you
have the growth.
remember the trip down Highway 5?
The first time I came to Marcia and I came to Jasper, we came on old Highway 5, and kept
And I
getting
can
here.
see Marcia kicking and screaming, no, I'm not moving here. Lord, no,
Well,
you've lost
we were
your
in South,
mind.
No, we were in South Georgia at the time. We were in beautiful.
So this looked good?
Well, what she wanted to have. I mean, we're team players. I think Marcia told me at church yesterday. Next Friday is our 29th wedding anniversary.
She told you. You didn't know it.
Well, I knew it sometime. I mean, but it's in July. But and I remember asking. The commissioner at the time was Mr. Freddie Stansel, and he said, "Oh, let me just go out here and show you the new road that we're building," because I talked about how long it took. And, which I grew up in East Tennessee, and those kind of roads. I mean, that's just
You're used to
that's
it.
what I
Yeah.
lived on and
Yeah.
learned to drive on.
Yeah.
But he was so proud of it. That's
Yeah.
one thing I remember about Freddie. He was proud about that road and
Yeah.
its development, and what it was going to do for our community.
And I honestly, I see it as nothing but a positive. I know there have been some negative things, and the fatality thing always worried me.
Yeah.
But I understand that the reason we didn't have the bridges, funding was part of it, and then there was a little controversy going on that we fought the road. I understand that there were several people who didn't want this road, and there was a little bit of
That
issue
always
going
happens.
on. Yeah,
That's before
yeah,
my time.
Yeah.
But then personal responsibility comes in here a little bit. We need to slow down a little
yes,
bit.
absolutely.
And-
Hear that?
Yeah.
Sure,
I
you're.
heard that.
We
I
might
heard
need to slow down.
a little old
I've
lady
heard that
from
about you.
Yeah, little old lady from 515. Yeah.
And I think our local law enforcement's done a good job.
Oh, yeah.
Slowing people down.
Yeah, this
And,
morning the boys in blue just about nailed
They
me.
just
But I
can't
was
catch
going
her.
66, which is speed limit was 65, so that was cool. That was cool.
and not talking on cell phones and all this
Right.
stuff that we're distracted by. I mean, it's some of this is.
Now, Rick, when you go to the house, let's talk about that, talking on cell phones. My child didn't know that the law went into effect 2 weeks ago.
You didn't tell him?
I have now. I said, I called him, and he answered his phone. I said, you're not supposed to answer that phone while you're driving. He said, then why did you call me?
I know.
And I said, to tell you this is a new law. He said, you are kidding me.
Nope.
Have you seen people who know about the new laws that were passed by Georgia? No cell phone use, period, if you're under 21 years old while you're driving.
Right.
And no texting of any kind.
Right.
Do you think there'll be any controversy coming up with this? Do you think there'll be problems? I mean, it's a done deal, so live with it. And I
Right.
think it's a good thing.
Yeah, my personal thoughts on. I wish I were 18.
Do you?
I do. And
Really?
look at you. Oh, you do. Well, I do because
Do
I'm.
you?
I guess
Well,
I'm.
I have an 18-year-old, and I'd rather it be 21.
Well, I do
you
too.
know.
I have we have sons
Yeah,
that just graduated.
Yeah, I'd rather it be 21.
I mean, I'm a little different in that we're sending young men to the
Well, I
military.
understand that,
And we're the adult age in Georgia's 18.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm just.
You're right.
I mean, that's just the way I feel about it, and
You're right.
just have a very.
We bury a lot of 19-year-olds from
do.
war. Yeah,
We
you're
do,
right.
and
You're right.
we're telling they're responsible enough to do that, but not
to talk
have
on the phone.
decision
Yeah.
how to talk. I mean,
Yeah.
What is your goals or your visions for 515 to change or to improve if you get your chance to do it?
to improve 515, I don't know that we have any. I'd love to see the access to Gordon County better, and that's 53, and they're working on it. There are some plans already to to fix some of the bad turns, especially going through Fairmount, approaching Fairmount.
Now, that'll teach you to drive on the Indy 500 if you go to
great
Fairmount
road.
very often.
That's a great road.
Yeah, it
You know,
is.
Sports car,
It is.
yeah.
But
Yeah.
that's to see that that's done, because we have a lot of traffic. I mean, you don't really recognize.
And that is a trucker's route. I don't know if you know it, but that is
Oh, I
a
know
trucker's
it.
route,
Yeah,
yeah.
I've made 100 trips to Gordon County in the last 6 or 8 months. Didn't really recognize how many people use that to get to
Oh,
County,
yeah.
and how many folks in Pickens County work in Gordon County.
Yeah.
And you go on that road at 6 o'clock in the morning, 6:30 in the morning.
Busy.
It's very busy, and
And if there's a wreck at Scott Branch,
oh,
you're in
no.
trouble.
Oh,
You're in
yes.
so much trouble.
It's a
It
bottleneck.
is. It's,
Yeah.
it's not. There's no way
Yeah,
around it.
yeah. There have
But
been
all
trucks
that-
wrecking there quite often.
Oh, it's easy, I'm sure. And but if we can fix that, and there are plans to fix it, will the funding be there? That may be part of the
1% or
big
1 cent.
transportation plan. That's because that's an issue for us, moving people, poultry feed, live birds, all that moves through there, carpet going east.
That goes through Scott Branch, doesn't
It
it?
sure does.
Yes, it does.
All of
Yes,
that
it
traffic
does.
runs through there, and it would be a good improvement.
I remember about 5 years ago, there was a little bit of an icy snow mix in January, and that's so shady through there too. It had no sun
A
on
week
it.
later.
But we all was just booking down through there, and all of a sudden everybody's hitting their brakes, and it had one slick spot, and a truck had overturned, and nobody had a way around it.
No.
And it's just because of the shade.
Okay, that's just a campaign story. I was in Gordon County one of the first times in January on a Friday, just trying to meet people, and as you do in a different town. And it started snowing, and my wife Marcia is a weather girl. I mean, she's laughing right now. Called me, Rick, it's snowing. Marcia, I got a 4-wheel drive truck. Rick, it's snowing. Calls me 30 minutes later. It's sticking. Yeah, we all do.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness, I've got pictures going through Scott Branch, and it's solid white. I mean, I'm going, oh my gosh, I'm like me and some other nut, the only people, because I stay trying to meet people, use every minute I can.
Now, you're going to vote for a man who's out in a snowstorm knocking on your door. You're going to get those votes.
Well, you just try to use every minute you can, and I knew how important it was to talk to this person I really needed to see that day. But I've got these great pictures of that little inlet. Oh, it's white. And it's
shady.
like,
And that is such a beautiful area. That is such a beautiful little
we
place.
live in a beautiful area.
Yeah, we
I mean,
do.
coming this morning, a little fog here and there, and a little rain last night. We are in a beautiful area. I just,
is so
we're
pretty.
lucky to live here.
Now, we talked a little bit about Burnt Mountain. Is it 136? Yeah, is
Right.
that the number? Yeah.
136.
I made this mistake. I was giving truckers directions one time when something had happened and they couldn't go a certain route, and I said, well, just stay on 136. And I forgot that it turns into Burnt Mountain.
About 3,000 feet
And this
elevation.
trucker calls me and he says, lady, I don't think I'm in the right place. And I'm like, oh my Lord.
That'll burn your brakes.
136 isn't
On the
traveled.
other side, going downside.
Oh, yeah. It isn't traveled
Either
very
side.
heavily now, though, is it? Is 136 still a major? Because I've been on it lately coming out of Gilmore
really,
County.
not the
I go up
trucks.
52 and then I come down, and I didn't see near the traffic I used to see on that road.
I don't know that. I don't know if there's been a traffic count.
I was
A lot of
surprised.
sightseers. I mean, you see a lot of Florida tags up there.
But 136 used to be a big deal today. Then it was like, and everybody went there to see Sharp Top. That's our big lookout point, and it's so beautiful.
It is. And I think 136 connectors used tremendously.
It is.
From Hinton across.
Oh, it is. That's
That
a busy one. That's
super
a busy
road,
one.
But
Yeah.
yeah, I don't know. I'm sure there are traffic counts. But,
Now, do you go all the way down to Carter's Lake? Is your area? Does it include that?
No, I have Pickens and Gordon. That northeast, if you know where Ralston Corners is in Gordon County.
Yeah, oh, yeah,
That's
yeah,
mine.
yeah,
Right
yeah.
there, all the way across.
411, right there.
Yeah, right there at 411.
They have good tater wedges there, by the way.
They
If you're
do?
over there and you're
Oh,
hungry.
my
Okay.
God.
Now, you mentioned northern Bartow. What area is
I have
northern?
Pine Log.
Pine Log.
The Pine Log area.
You got a good area.
Oh, yeah.
Such a beautiful
It
place.
is. And I worked in Cartersville in Bartow County. That's where I
My
started
hometown.
as a county agent back there in 1980. And
Oh, wow.
went to that cute little school up there at Pine Log to do the 4-H meetings. And it's been fun to get back up in there and meet folks.
I graduated Cartersville High School in 1980.
Oh,
Back in the olden days.
Yeah.
I just started there. It was just, and used to eat that little biscuit place right across from the high school.
Yeah.
Wow.
That was our
Capri.
favorite. That was our favorite place.
Oh,
Every
Capri
morning.
was the name of it?
Oh,
think
I
that was
wouldn't
the name of it.
remember. The best place I remember in
Right across from
Cartersville is
high
the
school.
four-way. So
Oh,
Four-way
yeah.
and Ross's
Oh, yeah.
Diner.
I want to go there. I want to do a story at the four-way.
Or-
I
and
do.
Ross's Diner.
Because we ate there when we were little kids, and it's still there. It's
love
still
it.
there.
Still there.
My
Yeah.
son Bob and I, we would play baseball tournaments in Cartersville at Dillinger Park.
Dillinger Park.
And up there at the Cartersville Rec, and shoot, that's the place to eat.
Now, are your kids encouraged by you doing what you're doing? Do they like what you've chosen to do? Or are they going, Daddy, what are you thinking? Your retirement age, you could have nailed it. You could have taken that state retirement. You could be sitting on the house rocking. What do they think about what you're doing?
Well, they see it as very positive, I
Okay.
think. You know, they know who I am and what I think and how much I believe in communities and working in communities and making changes and helping communities. They've been a part of it all their lives.
Right.
It just seems like an extension of what I've always done, and they like it. You know,
Good.
you'll see them out next on July 20th in many different places, waving signs, vote for my dad, and you know, because we're a team as a family and have worked together to help get me elected, and now hopefully stay elected. But they do my website, help me do things. You know, we're all in
Honey, you
there
have
together.
to get your teenagers to do your website because you're our generation. You can't do those websites.
Oh, we've learned a lot. I mean,
gosh.
and knowing how important they are, but they're just, yeah, I think they're proud.
If folks have questions, can they contact you personally?
Oh, absolutely.
How do they get in touch with
I'm
you?
the 12th District State Representative right this minute. The easiest way is my home telephone number. Just look it up in the book. Jasperse, Bent Tree Drive, Marble Hill. Very easy to get to. I've got a website, Rick Jasperse. You can call the Capitol. I've got lots of different accesses to get to me, but easiest way is my home telephone number,
Okay.
and that's what people are using,
Okay.
and
good.
they should.
Yeah.
So you're no longer going to be doing basketball games?
No, well, I've told them I'd do basketball until January, but after January, those Tuesday night games, I'm unfortunately going to be at the Capitol probably for a couple of months.
What do you
I'll
see?
miss that, though. It's been, what he's saying is announcing basketball at Pickens High School, and I've done that for years, and it's
Yeah.
fun. It is just fun.
As the new kid on the block, what do you see Rick Jasperse accomplishing your first year?
I think I've got to learn the system. I think, I'm speaking to the Gordon County Republican Party tomorrow night, and that's the thing that I want to talk to him about is learning the system and what I didn't know that I know now.
Did you have a clue going into this?
Yeah, I sure did. I mean, but there's so much you don't know, and like the caucus things and the meetings you go to and the committee work and learning. I've got to learn the system. I read a great book in the last couple of months about Tom Murphy. A friend of mine in Jasper gave it to me, and that was Tom Murphy's advice at that time, and it's been David Ralston's advice to me too.
And we
Learn.
got to say good morning to the speaker. We love David Ralston.
Oh, you
we
bet.
love him. We love him.
And Rick, the main thing you've got to do the first year is learn the system, learn the people, and become integrated into it so you can do stuff.
Right.
There's a lot that's got to be done, and there's a lot of information. And the great story about Tom Murphy said, while everybody was talking about all different things, he was reading the House Rule Book. And I think you'll find me doing the same thing. I've always told people I like information and I like learning. And my wife and my kids have always teased me about it, always reading something instead of watching TV. It's just who I am. And she's shaking her head. No, not watching TV. I'm not a big TV guy.
I'm thinking about he doesn't have air conditioning is what I'm thinking about.
Well, I'm just
Y'all,
not
it's been 100 degrees the last week and Rick doesn't have air conditioning. You're going to watch our money, aren't you?
Oh, I am. And look out for and work for jobs. I think you'll find and immigration issues and transportation, that's what we've got to work on. We've got to make sure.
I think transportation being number one.
Well, I think jobs are number one,
Okay.
Cherie. I'll tell you, because
Okay.
we've got to make sure when a company, big or small, looks at Georgia, they say, hey, I'm going to go there because they want us. They have made this a job-friendly environment.
What is our workforce today? Do we have a lot of people who want to work?
Absolutely. The state, federally, they're saying our unemployment's 9-point-something%. We know that's a lot different in Georgia. In Pickens County especially, we may be at 15 to 18%. Because most of our people are tradespeople.
Right.
building.
We lost 4 major manufacturers in Pickens County, but then the rubber plant is doing well. Royston is doing very, very well. So we have a couple of very strong manufacturers.
Absolutely.
But housing, when you build a house, it takes 10 different crews to build that house.
Absolutely.
Has housing come back at Bent Tree? Are you seeing
Not
anything
at all.
going on?
No, not at all. And so we've got to make sure we make Georgia the place to come for industry or business. And I think we're working at that. And I think that's in Tom Graves' jobs bill that he passed last legislative session sets the stage for us to continue working on that, to make it a place where you want to come and establish a business or bring one or add one. Congressman Graves last week, and he's doing it today, has started a job summit, bringing people together that are business people. What can we do at the federal level to make sure that we improve the situation for jobs, not only in the United States, but especially here in Georgia? It's a great move on his part, because it's going to, instead of being the Republican Party being a party of no, I think Congressman Graves wants to make sure we say no, but we've got an alternative. We've got a solution to that. And he started that last week. All of us are involved in it, and business players from all the 9th District to work at making sure we do the right things and give alternatives to improve the job situation in North Georgia.
Do you feel that immigration and job stuff you're talking about go hand in hand?
They do. I think you're going to find, as Georgia has, 2006 enacted some pretty good immigration legislation, I think you'll see it improved a little bit. I think what we want to see, I think what I can feel and what I know in my heart, we want to make Georgia just inhospitable. You don't want to make it ugly or anything like that, but we want to make sure that our people have the jobs first. And it's not really a pleasant, great place for you to come to take jobs from our people. That's just a way to say it. I mean, that's how I feel about it. My grandfather was an immigrant, but he was legal, and he worked, and he was successful, and he followed the rules. There's no reason other people can't do it too.
Well, I don't understand the mindset of an American citizen to not look at that as a positive, to want to be a legal American citizen, to do the right things, and to not want to say it the wrong way, but they just want to give things that we are supposed to have here in America to other people that aren't legal.
Well, perfect example, and you've never had to deal with Medicaid, but while Angela's been battling cancer and the bills are stacking up, she was turned down for emergency Medicaid because she went back to work and was working part-time and, quote, made too much, which was a joke. But that day when she was at the health department applying, there were 9 people on Medicaid giving birth to children here who were not U.S. citizens.
Right.
And I'm thinking 9 people here are giving birth and doing all these things, and my child and my family has been here all our lives paying taxes, and my child was turned down because she went back to work part-time, even though her house payment was 3 months behind and her medical bills were this high. And I'm thinking, only in America,
Well, I think
it was pretty sad.
We know the pie is only so big.
Right.
It's just that big, and and if the people that are supposed to be eating from the pie there's probably going to be enough. But if there's a lot more people trying to eat from that pie, it doesn't work out.
Right.
And I think that's a pretty simplistic description of the problem, but that's kind of the way I am. It's the way I kind of look at it, and we'll look at it. And I think from what I can gather and hearing from the House leadership and what I think, we're going to work to make sure Georgia is not the most friendly place for illegal aliens to work and prosper.
Do you see it being an Arizona problem?
Oh, no, we have more. That's the big thing that came out last week was there are more illegal aliens in Georgia than there are in Arizona.
Wow.
They're passing through Arizona.
That's amazing.
They're causing tremendous problems in Arizona. We have similar laws to Arizona in place right now. We just need to enforce them. And I think we need to empower local governments, to enforce them. And I think that's the issue that's not been done, is just empowering them to do it. And if there's a legal state issue in that way, we'll address it.
Well, July the 20th, go back to the polls. Go back to the polls and vote again. Tom Graves' Congress, 9th District, has nothing to do with Rick Jasper's 12th District House. It is very confusing. The governor's race is a whole nother day because it is very, very confusing. We have a choice, Democrat Roy Barnes or several other people or many Republican candidates. Everybody knows I'm a Republican. I would vote for a Democrat if I thought that Democrat could do the job. I'm a Republican, have been all my life, have never voted any other way but Republican. But I would also today consider any candidate that I thought could get the job done. So look
Absolutely.
cautiously at a lot of candidates are running. Some of them I think may be very well qualified. Some of them I think need to be at the House. Some of them I think would do a good job. Some of them I think would be disastrous. A lot of candidates for governor. Why so many this year?
Well, it's an open seat, and it's an opportunity. But let me just jump back. Our Pickens County Republican Party has had most every one of these candidates in Jasper in the last year, and you've got to meet them all. And
At the tomato sandwich event, there were tons of them.
there were tons
Parades,
of them. But throughout their monthly meetings, the Pickens GOP's had them there where you can see them eyeball to eyeball, and you can
Right.
talk to them.
Yeah.
And which has been wonderful.
And you can do process of elimination pretty
better
quickly.
believe it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
pretty
now
quickly.
and now you've got to rely, if you're uninformed, on websites and talking to your
Right.
friends. And
Yeah. And
but
vote wisely. Vote, but vote wisely.
you've got to vote your heart
Yeah,
and look at
yeah.
these people and who best represents your thoughts
Mm-hmm.
and what you aspire Georgia to be. And GPTV yesterday had a great, all the governor candidates were on debating and,
Uh-huh.
and answering, and that's what, it's good.
Why don't you run for governor?
I don't have the educational
a motorhome.
qualification or
Yeah, you got the transportation.
Got the
yeah.
motorhomes, you can
I
go
got
at
the
it.
driver too,
That's
because
right,
he's a
see?
good
What are you
driver.
waiting on?
You know, Freddie could be driving you around while you're out politicking. You could be napping,
Putting
Rick.
up signs. I'm putting up signs today.
That would be fun. That would be
Governor
fun. Well,
Cherie.
it's always a pleasure having you here. I wish you nothing but well, because it's good to have local politicians. It's good to have people we know will listen to us. Having Tom Graves in Fairmount representing us, and then you in Jasper, that's pretty good. And then David Ralston, we kind of got it made right
We
here.
do. And we know, and I think, as David Ralston and I were talking yesterday, we've got to work to make sure, and it's very political to say, that the Republicans maintain a majority in the Georgia House to continue the good work they did in this last legislative session. I mean, I'll come back someday and I'll just list some of the good things that they've done. They've worked very hard. Speaker Ralston is a leader.
He is. He's
And
an
he's a
awesome dude.
super
He's
guy.
just an awesome dude.
Have you
Yeah,
had
he
him
is-
on your show
Yeah,
yet?
a bunch.
Oh, he
Yeah,
is just
yeah.
a great guy. And
He's awesome.
And folks like me are going to support people like David Ralston
Right.
to lead us. And
I
make
would
sure.
say David Ralston can be speaker just as long as the law allows,
I
because
hope
I
so.
think he will do a very good job, and I don't think he'll ever
Just buy you a
disappoint
bunch of
us.
aspirin, because when she starts twisting your arm, your shoulder's going to hurt.
Oh,
Yeah, that's
I
right.
leave.
Well, thank you again for finishing what Congressman Graves started with
Yes.
David Collins. It was an amazing day. It was an amazing day for our community. It was an amazing day when that big road stopped traffic and
Yes.
people stood by their cars as taps was played. That was
Absolutely.
pretty awesome.
It was.
That was
and,
pretty awesome.
But again, thanks to the sheriff's office.
They did a great job. They were on top of it.
She was
Yeah.
bragging on
Captain,
him.
Yeah,
Captain
I-
Reynolds
Yeah.
down there,
Yeah.
he organized it for us. And, I'm not a military guy, but Captain Reynolds at the sheriff's office has been. He's been on military detachments in Iraq, knew what to do, knew how to do it respectfully, and it was done. And that was just, I
It was great.
appreciate
It's top
Sheriff
notch.
Craig and
Yeah,
him a lot.
yeah. And thank you to everybody who came out and stood
Yeah.
the heat to handle that. It
Yes.
was busy.
Well, you know what time it
tomorrow-
is?
I know what time it
Yeah.
is, and tomorrow is Inspirational Day. Tomorrow is the Inspirational Day. We didn't even get to Wanda Jackson music today, and we were going
Oh,
to.
well.
But don't forget tonight, Cherie Martin went backstage with Wanda Jackson, and we had so much fun. You will get to see a 1-hour special being aired tonight at 10:30 to 11:30. Y'all stay up late or hit your DVR, but I think it's going to be interesting for you to see this lady. This is her many, many years ago. Tonight you will see her at 72 years old continuing to do rock and roll. She was just inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. She is one awesome lady, and tonight you will get to meet Miss Wanda Jackson. Well, you know what happens. Time
That's
flies.
true.
We're having fun. From North Georgia Now Today, I'm Cherie Martin.
And I'm Dean Martin.
Bill Siniard, this is the lead singer for First Mountain City. You saw him Saturday night. You be here and we'll be here too, only on ETC3, Monday through Friday, 8:30 to 10 a.m., 6 to 7:30 p.m., and 1 to 2:30 for you late nighters. And don't you forget, tonight at 10:30, Wanda
You
Jackson.
tell him, sister.
You tell him, sister.
She ain't typical, she's unpredictable, she's available. It's America.